Hey y'all, back again, another full moon week on Ogun's internet. I feel like I needed to wait a couple of days after the full moon. Boy, that summer coming in hot, huh? Things are coming in hot. So much going on. These last couple of weeks. Tired. There's a lot going on. So I needed a couple of days to kind of, after all that, the last couple of weeks went by. It's just like, oh, feels like it's time to talk to my people again. My Thibodaux community. That's where I'm recording from now, as usual. From my yard, Thibodaux. A little Sunday evening talk. Talk to y'all. Sunday evening talk. Like, what better time than now to come talk to my people, especially in the midst of all this chaos in the world. To come see about yourself. Session titled, Getting Dogged Out. We call this to come see. For those of y'all who just joining us, this is your first time, we've been coming here talking. What is all this mental health stuff even mean? What people talking about when they say that? Keep saying that, but I feel like for me, my experience in my community, my black people especially, in these small country towns, nobody really tells us what that even means. And unless we go to therapy, and for some of us, we're not about to go to no therapy to go and see about our mental health right off. We're not about to jump right off the porch to do that, because even culturally, that's never been safe for us to expose our vulnerabilities, to show our weaknesses as black folks in order to survive. We're talking about our business. So we've been coming on here, y'all, talking about what that could look like for us as a community if we did it for ourselves. So I say, let me get on here and tell y'all some of the things that helped me when I was crashing out a couple of years ago. So that's what we be doing here. Remember last time we talked, we've been talking about the ACEs test. I attached it to this post again. And we've been talking about number 7. Most of us, we took the test, so you can still take the test if you haven't done so. Just answer the questions. Just answer these 10 questions and put a yes or a check by if that experience happened to you in your childhood or growing up. And the one that, and you kind of rate yourself and score yourself. Like how many of these experiences that from our experience, working with trauma and working with people on mental health, like these things affect us. But don't believe what I say. We just been trying it out. So we've been talking about it. I said I had over 6 of these I said yes to. That's tough. So we've been talking about number 7. Did a parent or adult in your home, and I just say in your community too, because it could be like for us teachers and stuff, that's people that we saw every day. These people in our community. Swear at you, insult you, or put you down. Yes. So we've been talking about that. Last time I asked y'all, like, if that ever happened to you, how that really felt. Like, how they really felt for you. Think about a time that happened. Like, put down, made feel small. Like, we used to say, what's the thing when you used to go to the store and the adult or parent or somebody be like, you want something? You ain't got no wants. Like, just kind of made feel really small. Just really critical environments growing up, and how that really felt. I know for me, I had a range of emotions that would happen for me in these experiences. And these are all things that we like, even with the adults and people in my family members, they know me. This is how I talk now. Like I normalize this, like not necessarily it's not a point of contention for me to have these types of conversations with my mom and family members and things like that. So it's just be like, I could share, like, oh, that really made me feel sad, or that made me feel angry, in a lot of times. And so a lot of people ask, okay, we're talking about this, Simone. Why does that even matter? That was so long ago. Even if that did bother me, and sometimes, you just got talked bad to. Tough love, we called it last time. That didn't bother me. I'm over that. That was so long ago. So what does that have to do with my mental health today? How does that even have to connect with taking care of your mental health? Brilliant question. So to answer that question, I got a little story for y'all. Something that happened to me. So this happened to me just the other day. That's how I'm going to answer that question for y'all. So check it. Wednesday and Thursday, I had to go to work in Baton Rouge. I had to do a come see about yourself session in a team, in an organization. So sometimes I do this in organizations. Again, talking about stress, talking about trauma, mental health stuff. You think it just stay at home? Who got a job that's sickening? So it shows up in work too. Things like these things. So when I usually have a session like that, with it's multiple people, I usually try to make it as easy as I can for me, because it used to be a lot, a lot of stuff I'm holding. And so I say, I'm going to catch the train from Thibodaux to New Orleans, and I'm going to meet up with my partners who I do this work with when we do it in organizations, and then we're going to drive to Baton Rouge. I'm going to let them drive to Baton Rouge. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to try to minimal effort till it's go time. So, cool. I caught the train before. But y'all know that? They got a train in Shreveport. You catch a train to New Orleans. So, nice train. I love the Amtrak train. Shreveport. Now, if you know anything about the Shreveport train station, though, it looked like it was the same as it was in 1975, which it was built. That's how it looked. Anybody Google the Shreveport train station, that's how it looked. You be like, is that it? Yes, that's it. So even though there's no platform, there's no lobby, waiting area, you in the middle of nowhere. You in Shreveport, baby. You in the middle of nowhere. I'm from the Ridge, so I know Shreveport. And it's still, I be like, when I go there, like, you sure we supposed to be back here? Waiting for this, standing by this train track? Anyway, but it's a smooth and easy ride to New Orleans. So I love that little train station. Anyway, so I decided to take the train. So my friend Janelle, she dropped me off at the train stations. It leave Thibodaux at 7 p.m. on the Tuesdays when you're going to this destination, when I'm going to New Orleans. So we got to the train early, like 20 minutes early, Shreveport. And then the train was sending me messages that it was going to be a little late. So it's just like, we're just hanging out. We the only ones there. No, we like the second ones there. There's no one back there. So, we just hanging out looking around like, whoa, because like we're back in the days. So, we just waiting. Nobody, and then people started pulling up, like some cars to the train tracks, not no station. And, they just kind of waiting. And so I was like, oh, they must be, and people started kind of getting out a little bit. And I was like, oh, they might be waiting for other people, because nobody got no bags. I'm the only one with my bags. I'm so ready. My bags are even outside of the car by the track. I got all my stuff together. The railroad tracks. Finally, like 15 minutes late, the train pulls up. And the families started getting out the car. So I didn't even know for sure. All these people are waiting for people to get off the train, welcoming their fans, because nobody got no bags. So as the train pulls up, just standing next to the track, you hear the train coming, standing next to the train track with my little bags. And people getting out the car, you can tell they, like I said, they about to greet their family members. The train stops. 2 doors open. One in the front and one in the back of the train. People get off, start to get off. They hugging the family members, people that have been waiting there. It's only like 5 cars, so it's still not a lot of people. They all getting off slowly because it's only like one little stool they drop down from the train. You got to be able to step on that stool to step up and step off of the train. So, people moving slowly. So I'm just waiting. People get off. They're kind of crowding, hugging, saying hey. And I'm just waiting on the side of the train. I'm on the train tracks, but I'm just waiting around the people. Waiting for the ticket person to say, when I'm watching them, waiting for them to say, all aboard. Anybody waiting on this train? Tickets, please, or anything. So the last person gets off the train, steps down on a little stoop. Again, I'm standing right next to the track with my bags, with a group of other people who were just kind of congregating, who just got off. Then the next thing seemed like it happened in slow motion, y'all. The man walking to the other door, I'm looking at him, I'm standing literally right by the train tracks. He walks to the other door, he picks up the little stoop, and the train door closes, the one that I was standing by. So I'm just like standing there and looking confused as to what is happening. And then I instantly thought, I was like, oh, okay, this has happened before. They have said, like, sometimes let's move the train up so you could board. Since you getting off first, you the next stop, we're gonna put you more toward like this other door so you can get off. So something like that. So I was just sitting there waiting. I was like, oh, okay, they're just moving up. So the train started moving, slow motion. It happened so quick, but it was so slow. Slowly the train started moving on and on and on and on, baby, till that train rolled all the way. I was just stood there. The train left me. People started getting their cars, driving away, and I was just standing there looking at my ride to work. Just drive away. I was just standing there with my bags. Not a all aboard. Not a tickets, please. Anyone getting on here? Nothing. That train just left. They just left. I had never seen that. It was like the scene of The Color Purple when Celie thought her and Suge was friends and Suge was about to leave. And she thought she was going with Suge. In The Color Purple, she was packing up all her stuff. And she was like, get to the thing. And she couldn't open up her mouth. So instead of telling Suge she wanted to go, she didn't say nothing. She was just standing there left with her bags at that scene. Remember that with Mr.? And that's how I felt. Like I was just standing there with my mouth open. I couldn't say anything. I can see why Miss Celie passed out doing that scene. So here's the good part. What happens next is what I really want y'all to tell y'all about. In that moment, just watching the train drive away, I felt a rush of emotion. I felt so shamed. I felt like people were staring at me. Nobody was saying nothing, but they all could see I was the only one still standing there with my bags while they all celebrate with their family and stuff, getting in their cars all happy. My face felt hot. I felt like a pit in my stomach, like queasy, like nervousness. And then I heard, now look, you done got left by the train. See, you should have been standing right next to the track. You should have told them people to move. Now look, what you gonna do? You just standing there looking stupid. Where was this voice coming from? It was from me. My mind. These thoughts in my head started dogging me out. The voice in my head was so insulting. It was putting me down. It was just like telling me all the things I did wrong. In that moment, it was just like a flash. Number 7. Insult you or put you down. Yes, I was doing it. I was not only now, was it not just from my childhood, but now I was doing it to myself. Remember how we talked about how it's just so ingrained in us, then we naturally, this becomes our way of being, our speech, and the way we actually start to treat ourselves. Now let's pause for a second. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that as an adult now? Have you ever noticed you number 7 yourself? So critical on yourself. Just the slightest thing happen, you're so hard on yourself, you're so judgmental, you're so harsh. You ever notice you call yourself stupid, or you judge yourself very harshly for any experience that happened, even when things are challenging? You say you wouldn't do this certain thing, or you say you wouldn't eat this thing. Like, how do you notice that self-critical voice in your head, like I noticed in that moment? So this is where all that mental health stuff comes in. These thoughts in our head, in our mind, usually are totally unconscious. So it's so ingrained in us, it's like a script. So most times we don't even notice it, because we're just in it. People talk, what they call it, like different things, but I have a friend that says the mind is a wild place to be. Just all types of thoughts. So when I first started working with people around this mental health, when I first start working with a person and we're talking about this mental health stuff, the first thing they'll say is, so what, right? That's all little thoughts. That don't matter. It's just I'm just pushing myself a little bit so that I don't make that mistake again. How can that be affecting my mental health now? That don't really mean nothing, moan. So, I'll give you a little science behind this. Negative self-talk or self-criticism can trigger a stress response in the body, which manifests as anxiety or panic. Oh, you so... So, self-critical thoughts can activate the brain's threat system, similar to if you was really in like danger externally. So this activation triggers stress hormones in your body, like cortisol and adrenaline. You've heard those when you go to the doctor. These hormones, they cause physical symptoms often associated with like anxiety and panic. So these thoughts actually can trigger a response that in your body. Physiological, just wild, right? You think it's just thoughts. It can trigger increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, rapid breathing, sweating, muscle tension. Again, stress, tension. That's why it's like the doctors, sometimes you ever go to the doctor and it's like, you gotta manage your stress. And she's like, I don't even know how to do that. I don't know what that means. So this is what that means. Like the blood pressure, the tension, the tight neck, the back, the bone aches. Some of these symptoms are not just from other things in our lives. Some of these symptoms are caused by stress, and it's caused by one of the things like negative self-talk, how we treat ourselves, how that when we hard on ourselves, it can send an alarm to our body. We're under threat. So that's how this affects your mental health today. This affects your stress levels. It affects your mood, your body. This affects your physical health. And a lot of times we don't even know what's happening because we don't even notice the thoughts in our heads. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to practice until the next time we see each other. Do you notice how you dog yourself out? That's going to be our practice. So, how do we break these cycles? You know, in the church, black church, we call it generational curses. How do we break these cycles? It's praying, yes. I believe this work is deeply spiritual, for me. And we have to do something. This is check on our mental health, seeing about this mental health stuff. The first step is just noticing. Do you notice? You better recognize, that's what it make me want to think about. You better recognize how you treating yourself. Just recognize. Can you catch the thought? A negative self-talk. So that's our first step. That's what we're going to do. To the next time. Are you number 7 in yourself? Just to notice. And then see if you could say, and just notice it. Again, it's just me and you. Nobody going to know. Nobody going to know. Nobody got to know you doing it. Trying to notice it. Nobody got to know your business. It's just our session. This man next door with a loud call. It's got a loud call on my street. I love my little street. Just like I love that little street for train. Can you notice if you number 7 in yourself? And if you notice it, just say to yourself, nobody got to know, damn, I'm number 7 in myself. That might actually make the situation worse. It might be causing me a little bit more panic and anxiety. Let me see if I could just try to notice that and see if I could pause that. Just try it. Just notice it first, and if you go to the next step and see if you can pause it. All right. So that's what we're gonna do till next time. Come see about yourself. See about yourself for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Let's just try it together. We're gonna experiment, and then we're gonna come back and report live from Thibodaux or wherever we at. What we notice. So, y'all doing so good. I just wanted to send y'all so much love and care, deep care. You're doing so good. This is challenging. This is a lot. But this is a way you can start to we could start to take care of ourselves and to really realize, what does that even mean? And we could do it in a way that's safe, because nobody gotta know your business. It's just me and you. So, see y'all next time, next full moon. Until then, take good care of yourself. Remember, you're doing your best. Ashe. Peace.